For decades, Honda has had a reputation for making safe, reliable cars. But 2 years ago in 2021, its dependability ratings took a critical nosedive, ranking 28 out of 33 cars. Since then, Honda's been working hard to climb out of the hole. Last year, it ranked 24th, and this year, it's climbed to 18th. But it's not just about dependability. Honda's also been slow to electrify the cars, while many other car makers are running full steam ahead. Today, we're looking at why Honda's been struggling to compete. We'll also look at a few tricks Honda has up its sleeve to catch up, including partnering with GM, but then ditching GM and also partnering with Aston Martin. And hang tight to hear about the 2 new electric sports cars that Honda's hinting at. The Honda HR-V and CR-V are both crossovers. I'm talking about sibling rivalry here. Funny enough, recent U.S. sales data show that one's selling stronger while the other is dying. In 2022, Honda sold some 76,579 CR-Vs. Fast forward a year to this past May, and that number jumped to 99,017. That's an increase of 30%. Right now, it's the 4th best-selling crossover in the U.S. after Tesla Model Y, Toyota RAV4, and Nissan Rogue. But it's a different story for the Honda HR-V. It's dying. In 2022, Honda sold 55,953 units of the HR-V. But by May 2023, that number dropped to 35,474. It's a drop of almost 37%. So what happened to the HR-V? Why is it on its way out? Well, just look at the 2023 CR-V versus the HR-V and you'll get the short answer. First is the size. For the 2023 model, Honda redesigned the HR-V to revamp it and revive the nameplate. It's grown in size, it's longer, wider, and a bit more modern in design compared to the previous model year. But the 2023 CR-V remains larger still. In fact, it's 5 inches longer, 1.1 inches fatter, and 3.1 inches taller. The larger size for the CR-V also means more cabin and cargo space. It offers 39 cubic feet behind the rear seats, compared to the HR-V's 25 cubic feet. That's a difference of 11 carry-on suitcases in the CR-V, compared to just 7 in the HR-V. Or if you fold the rear seats down, you get 77 cubic feet of space in the CR-V, compared to the HR-V's 55 cubic feet. The CR-V is also generally a better crossover than the HR-V. First of all, the CR-V comes in either traditional gas-powered version, which is a 1.5-liter turbo inline-4, or a hybrid version, whereas the HR-V comes with just one engine choice, which is a 2-liter inline-4 that's somewhat sluggish to accelerate. Obviously, the hybrid CR-V is the best of the bunch. It's more powerful and fuel efficient. I'm talking 40 miles a gallon in a city and highway combined. Hard to beat that in an SUV. The CR-V also has a longer history. It came out in 1995, meaning it has a 20-year fan following and advantage over the HR-V, which didn't arrive stateside until 2015 and is only in its 2nd generation. The 2023 CR-V also has 5 trims for more customization, whereas the HR-V only offers 3. Lastly, the CR-V has more upscale amenities that are available, like a Bose sound system. But don't get me wrong, the HR-V does have a few features that are better than the CR-V. If you ask me, I say the main area where the HR-V shines is the price advantage. The HR-V is nearly $5,000 cheaper than a CR-V, so it's much easier on your wallet. A 2023 CR-V starts at $28,410, while a 2023 HR-V starts at $23,800. Or if you're wanting a 2024 model, well, the 2024 CR-V starts at $29,500 compared to a 2024 HR-V, which starts at $24,100. It's no big news that Honda's late to the EV game. In April 2020, it started partnering with General Motors to accelerate EV production. Basically, Honda and GM agreed to make 2 EVs for Honda, including the 2024 Prologue, which will be Honda's first fully battery electric midsize crossover. It'll run on GM's BEV3 platform with Ultium batteries, which, by the way, is the same platform that underpins the Chevy Blazer EV and Cadillac Lyriq. Pretty much, it's American technology underneath the Japanese shell. Let's just say that they're mixed reviews already. Some say the driving experience of the Honda Prologue is more like driving a GM car instead of a Honda. The Prologue is also Honda's first model to be designed mainly through VR technology. The company is using virtual reality and augmented reality because it enables the design team to endlessly customize possibilities and get quicker feedback. Honda created a full-size clay model of the exterior in their design process. The exterior sports aerodynamic elements like smooth surfaces, a visibly raked windshield, low and sloping roofline, slim mirrors, and a closed upper grille. Also, the new branding on the back has been redesigned and now carries a badge with the letter E for electric. Because this car is being co-developed with GM, it shares common characteristics with other GM vehicles, like the Chevrolet Blazer EV. You can see similarities with its doors and dimensions, for example. But there are differences too. The Prologue's overall design is simpler and less athletic. It also doesn't feature the split headlights that you see in the Chevy Blazer. To make the Prologue stand out as unique, Honda designers used flatter bonnet and wheel arches and a shorter quarter glass panel too. It also looks more compact than a Blazer EV, although it's a similar size. Because of the Honda-GM collaboration, the Prologue relies on the GM Ultium battery technology. This is one of the reasons why the crossover has been described as not so Honda to drive. It feels more like driving a GM car, like a Chevy Blazer. Honda's even admitted to the media that differentiating the Prologue in terms of performance will be difficult. The Prologue is also unlikely to come with a manual transmission. That's because developing a manual transmission for EV is not easy. The Prologue is expected to churn out between 200 to 250 horsepower and 250 to 300 pound-feet of torque, and the battery pack offers up to 100 kilowatt hours, with a driving range somewhere between 260 to 325 miles on a single charge. By the way, GM patented a heat pump that recovers and repurposes waste energy from the EV components. The heat pump can recover waste heat from the car's propulsion system, body heat from passengers, and humidity from both inside and outside. This recovered heat can be reused for heating and other functions, like warming up the batteries, improving vehicle performance, and offering 10% of additional range. But here's the thing. This heat pump is a standard feature on GM's Ultium-based EVs, which means it'll likely be included in the Honda Prologue. But let's put this car into perspective and compare it to the 2023 Honda CR-V and the 2022 Honda Passport. The Prologue is the longest of the three with a length of 192 inches, compared to the CR-V's 184.8 inches and the Passport's 189.1 inches. But it's a tad narrower than the Passport. I'm talking 78.3 inches compared to 78.6 inches, which is nominal. Of the three cars, the Prologue is also the shortest. Its height is 64.7 inches compared to the CR-V's 66.2 inches and the Passport 71.6 inches. Right now, analysts expect the 2024 Honda Prologue to cost under $50,000. It should also be eligible for federal tax credits. If that's the case, the Prologue's main competitors will be the Chevrolet Blazer EV, Ford Mustang Mach-E, and possibly even smaller models like the Toyota BZ4X, Hyundai Ioniq 5, Nissan Ariya, Subaru Solterra, and the Kia EV6. But that's as far as the Honda-GM collaboration will go. After all that effort, Honda recently decided to ditch GM for its second electric model. The second EV is expected to be a mid to large size vehicle, and it won't be using GM's Ultium battery platform. Instead, Honda intends to use its own proprietary electric platform in 2025 here in North America. It's called E-Architecture. There isn't much further information on this yet, but analysts suspect it might possibly be a 3-row crossover. Even though this particular new E-Architecture based model is intended for the North American market, there's speculation that Honda may eventually share its EV design language globally to overseas markets too. This would come as no surprise since Honda's trying to catch up electrifying its lineup. Last year, Honda confirmed that 2 of the new 30 EVs expected to debut by 2030 will include a duo of sports cars. The first will be a flagship successor to the Acura NSX. That said, Honda typically only rolls out a new NSX when it has something to prove, something to boost its reputation. Interestingly, last year, Honda says it doesn't plan on producing a Civic Type R EV until solid-state batteries are ready. So if Honda won't compete in the Type R without solid-state batteries, it's hard to picture Honda treating the NSX any differently. The second sports car is less clearly defined as a specialty model. Expectations are that we may get a look at the second sports car later this year. Honda Motor Europe's president, Tom Gardner, said the company loves a sports car and loves performance. He also said that who knows just how soon we might see one from Honda, which might be somewhat of a hint. Some Honda fans have been long begging Honda for a comeback for the S2000, which was discontinued in 2009. So there's a slight chance that could happen, but to be honest, I really doubt Honda would revive the nameplate with an electric successor. Most likely, the second electric sports car might look something similar to the 2017 Honda Sports EV concept, although the design would obviously need to be updated. Regardless, Honda has a lot of projects underway. Recently, it agreed to make F1 engines for Aston Martin starting in 2026. Actually, this comes as a huge surprise because Honda left F1 back in 2020. So why did Honda change its mind? And why is Aston Martin jumping ship to switch from Mercedes to Honda? Here's the thing. Honda did originally plan to leave F1 racing, but the company decided to stay and continue supplying Red Bull with Honda engines after F1 froze the current regulations. Rival engine manufacturers have been using the engine freeze to start preparations for 2026. So, Honda currently supplies Red Bull with engines. But previously, because Honda was reluctant to commit to F1 beyond 2025, Red Bull decided to build its own engines for 2026 onward. In other words, end of the Honda Red Bull contract for 2026. But then, there's Aston Martin. It has an engine deal in place with Mercedes till the end of the current power unit regulation cycle in 2025, but not beyond. Kind of reminds me of picking teams for dodgeball. But for 2026 Formula One, we'll be seeing at least 6 engine manufacturers competing. Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull, Honda, Renault, and Audi. But here's another question. Why did Aston Martin decide to switch from Mercedes to Honda? Right now, Aston Martin is in second place in this year's constructor standings. It's largely due to its success in poaching top engineers from Red Bull and Mercedes. Now, Aston Martin has only said good things about its collaboration with Mercedes, but the company decided to build its own wind tunnel that's due to be completed in 2025. And once that happens, Aston Martin plans on moving more of its development in-house. And that's where the Honda engine deal comes in. Actually, this deal will be a key part of Aston Martin's competitiveness in future championships. Aston Martin Group CEO Martin Whitmarsh confirmed that Mercedes has been a great partner and they intend to continue its good relationship. But let's be real, Mercedes is in it to win, and clearly so is Aston Martin. So the two parting ways isn't a huge surprise. But now you tell me, what's your impression of Honda as a brand now compared to 10 years ago? Please share by commenting below. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for your support.